What's good, y'all? This your boy DCPRT, aka Space of the DFS Club. Let's get into today's slate. Like my video, comment your favorite player for today's slate, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. To enter the $25 giveaway, I'm gonna give it out next Saturday. That's all you have to do to enter the contest. And let's get into NFL. Week 1 and week 2 gonna be crazy because we don't really know what these coaches are gonna do. It's a lot of moving parts, and we have to see. So make sure you play light. Don't play heavy first 2 weeks. First 2 weeks are like trying to get a feel how these offenses go, how these defenses go. Yeah, just getting the feel. So that's my tip for the first 2 weeks, and I will be breaking down every position and try to make it pretty fast, man, because like I said, first 2 weeks we don't know. We just know what happened last year, and that's what we can go off of. So, and I'm not gonna point out the obvious, like Patrick Mahomes. He's obvious in play. Kyler Murray going up against Tennessee. Dual threat quarterback, can pass, can run. Going up against Tennessee, they're ranked 28th last year. These stats go off of last year. So Tennessee was ranked 28th in the league last year against the position, and overall they're ranked 27th. So I like Kyler Murray. I think he's gonna step it up this year based off last year. He did pretty good last year. So I think he's going to do very well. Same thing goes for Jalen Hurts. He blossomed last year. Going down. Baker Mayfield. Y'all know Kansas City going to run that scoreboard up, so he's going to have to keep up. So I really think Baker Mayfield going to throw like 50 times to try to keep up. Cleveland pretty good too. But when you play against Kansas City, a lot of times it's high-scoring games. So I like Baker Mayfield at 5,900. It's a little cheaper. 5,900 on DK, and he's 7,100 on Fanduel. Jimmy Garoppolo, just a cheap play with upside, going up against the worst defense in the league based off last year. Detroit, Tyrod Taylor could be sneaky. He's 5,300, cheap play. He's gonna be low on for sure. Dual threat. Can run the ball, can pass the ball. I still think he got a lot in the tank. So, and he's playing against a bad defense based off last year, who was ranked 29th against quarterbacks and 31st in the league. So dead last. Jacksonville Jaguars. Sam Darnold, a straight up revenge game narrative right here, going up against his former team, New York Jets. Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's still good. Very cheap, 4,800. He started last year. Going up against the Giants, who had a pretty good defense last year. But I think he's still decent at that price tag. I mean, don't really need that much to pay off at 4,800. Coming on down more, 5,200. Jameis Winston. We all know about Jameis Winston. This man can throw for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. We know he's going to have like 4 interceptions, but that's besides the fact. This man can rack up points. So I like Jameis Winston. Pure dart throw right there. Let's go to running backs. And oh yeah, this tool you see on the screen right here, the Draft Dashboard. Get this tool for $1 for 30 days. Click the link in my description to get it. It's going to be a helpful tool throughout the season. As I can see all the stats. You can see the targets. You can see the attempts, ownership, value, snaps, touches, games started. You can see the health status. You can see the home and away games, the opponent teams, defensive rankings, the position defensive rankings, draft dashboard rankings, sleepers and studs, lineup optimizer that builds up lineups for you. NFL cheat sheet. Gonna need this. You can get this tool for $1 for 30 days. So click the link in my description to get draft dashboard. And shout out to the family. Thursday night football, we all cash pretty much. I cashed all my lines. Got some takedowns. A lot of people finished first place. And we're looking to cash again on Sunday. So if you're interested, go to the DFS Club. Go to dfsclub.com. You got me, Skywalker DFS, our brother. Got a community with hundreds of members. We play NBA. NBA coming up next month. NFL, MLB, PGA, NHL, tennis, NASCAR, soccer, esports, MMA, WNBA, college sports, Euro basketball. We play DraftKings, Fanduel, and other sites. Click join now. Click my logo. We got the bronze plan, silver plan, gold plan, and 3A pass if you want to try us out. We have built lineups, 24/7 tips and advice, GPP CAD cheat sheets, bankroll management if you need help with that, lineup builder, live pregame podcast. We do a podcast every hour before lock, pre-lock insight. We'll be on top of the news. And make pivots if we have to, and we also provide lineups. So join the winning team, the DFS Club. We'll be glad to have you. So let's get this money. So running backs now. The obvious. But the thing is, too, with these running backs, they starting to run a lot of dual threats, like a lot of 2 sets, even 3 sets running backs. So some of these bell cow running backs that used to be bell cows are not really bell cows no more. Prime example, Ezekiel Elliott. Y'all seen what he did. Pollard was getting a fair share, taking away the dump offs. He was catching a lot of dump off passes that Ezekiel Elliott was doing last year. He had a couple of rushes. He was eating into his usage. So they starting to do that now. But we got some bell cows. Starting out with Chris McCaffrey. Bell cow. So 9,500. He's valuable for that. Dalvin Cook, another bell cow. Probably not gonna be sharing with nobody. Derrick Henry, same thing. All these guys up here are awesome plays. Jonathan Taylor, he's gonna get a lot of rushes, but he's gonna have to share with Hines, and he's gonna have to share with Mac. But he's not a bell cow because of that reason, but he's gonna get a lot of touches. Same thing with Chubb, but y'all know it's a double-headed monster with Chubb and Hunt. They did that last year. James Robinson, I think he's probably the cheapest bell cow. He's gonna get a lot of snaps. 6,400 on FanDuel, 6,400 on DK, and he's 5.6 on FanDuel. Very cheap, man. And he's going to get the bulk of the touches. I wouldn't be surprised if James Robinson was chalk based off his price tag and the role he's going to have with Jacksonville. So I really like him. Joe Mixon, I think the same about him too. Bernard is gone. Y'all know Bernard is with Tampa Bay now. So that should bump up Joe Mixon a little bit. And he should be a little bit more healthy too. So I like Joe Mixon. Chase Edmonds going to have to share the ball with James Conner. Yeah, I know James Conner was with the Steelers. He did a lot there. But now he's paired up with Edmonds. I think this is why they're this cheap. 4,600, 4,500. They're probably going to split it 50-50. And there's one more running back also that's going to take some of the load. Plus, you got Murray going to run the ball himself. So that takes away a lot, but Edmonds got a lot of upside. I like him at 4,600 though. Who else? Marlon Mack at 4K. He bare minimum 4K. Marlon Mack showed flashes of him just crushing it. 4K, that's a dart throw play right there. Phillip Lindsay could be sneaky. It's a lot of good cheap plays on running backs. But I like to see how they're gonna run them. Like I said, they can do a lot of dual running back plays. We just got to see week 1 what they're going to do. But let's go to wide receivers. Okay, wide receivers, man. It's a ton of them. Everybody up here studs, man. I love everybody. Devontae Adams, Tyree Hill, Ridley, Hopkins, Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to crush it this year. I think this year is his year. Last year, he did pretty well, but he's going to make a statement this year. I like Justin Jefferson, Diggs, Metcalf, Thielen. All these guys are in play. Let's get to the less obvious. Kenny Galladay, I think he's going to redeem himself. He's played for the Lions. I got banged up. He's healthy now, and he's with the Giants. So, Jones got a target to throw to. I think Kenny Galladay going to be low owned. Odell Beckham. He's probably going to be good to play week 1. 5,400 is too cheap for Odell Beckham Jr. The name beside that price tag alone he should be chalk. We'll see how his status is Sunday. But I'm loving Odell Beckham at 5,400. I think that's too cheap for him. He's 6,500 on Fanduel. I like Odell Beckham. Tyler Boyd, 5,200, Cincinnati. I think they all gonna get better. They all young. Joe Burrow got a year under his belt, so I think him and Tyler Boyd gonna do pretty well. Tyler Boyd was banged up too last year. He's healthy at 5,200. I think he's gonna go under the radar. Judy, I think he's gonna blossom this year. I think this gonna be a good year for him. He's only 4,800. Valdez Scantling, 3,700. Green Bay. He's playing with Aaron Rodgers. 3,700. That's super cheap. I like Marquez Valdez Scantling. Callaway, think he's gonna ball out this year too. I think he got potential being number 1 wide receiver. Terry McLaurin turned himself into a number 1 wide receiver. He said 6,400 on DK. I like Terry McLaurin. Robbie Anderson, we know he's a deep threat. And last year he started to get targets. And also with Sam Darnold on Carolina now, he always had that one wide receiver that he loves to throw the ball to. A lot of times that wide receiver will be in the slot. I think sometimes they'll run Robbie Anderson in the slot. Sometimes they had him running routes too last year. Instead of just running just straight down the field, he's actually cutting. So we'll have to see who Darnold picks. Because Darnold always loved that short pass, slash, and that wide receiver, whoever it is, gonna rack up a lot of targets. So we will see week 1. And I think that's about it for wide receivers. Let's go to tight ends. Kelsey obvious and Kittles. These two are obvious plays for tight end. Logan Thomas, big on targets. He's gonna play well with Washington alongside McLaurin. Look, last year 9, 6, 12. Like, this man was racking up targets, and he's fairly cheap. Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst. Probably the Falcons probably gonna run a dual tight end set. Kyle Pitts, I wouldn't be surprised being chalk at 4,400. Hurst, good at catching the ball too, as y'all can see. Matt Ryan was throwing him the ball. That's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna run that. Those two in play. Eric Ebron, high target guy. I like him. Can Zach Ertz come from the dead and come back and be the old Ertz? Because Ertz is up here. The old Ertz is up here. 7K range. Instead, this man's way down here. Got banged up. Eagles sucked. And he's 3,800 now. Can he redeem himself? I don't know. Based off his name, I like him at 3,800. This may be a comeback year for him. So I like Ertz. David Njoku could have a nice game against Kansas City. Kansas City is ranked 26th in the league against tight ends, so I wouldn't be surprised. Mayfield give David a lot of targets that game. Will Disley with Seattle. Dart throw at 2,600. And that's about it for tight ends. T.J. Hawkinson. San Francisco ranked first in the league against tight ends, so I don't know, but Hawkinson is a pretty nice tight end. He plays like a wide receiver, so I like him. Hunter Henry, he's decent also. Let's go to defense now. We got to see how the defenses go, but I will pay up for the 49ers against Detroit. And the other defense I like is the Bills, based off of Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger. Y'all know Roethlisberger is on the fence of retiring or whatever. Sometimes he don't want to play. He looks like he's not interested, and I'm willing to bet on that. That possibly could happen. He could get hurt. Not saying he will, but y'all know how he's been kind of iffy in these seasons. So I like the Bills against Pittsburgh just based off that. And I'm going to keep it short on defense. So let's go to Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a DFS parlay website. All you're doing is picking the over or under on these players. You're not dealing with any sharps or anybody in contest. It's just you and the projections. How to play is you got to pick at least 2, 3, or 4 players. 2 players is 3 times your money. So for example, if you put in $20, you can flip that and make $60. If you like Hurts over 22.5, pick the over. If you think he's going to get under 22.5 fantasy points, pick the under. That's all you got to do. And it goes by Fanduel points. You can enter $5 all the way up to $100. And it 3 times your money, just getting 2 players right. 3 players is 5 times your money. So for example, if you put in that same $100, it turns to $500 this time. You can do $37. It turns to $185, $14. It don't matter. 5 times your money from $5 to $100 by getting 3 players right, and 4 players if you get them right is 10 times your money. So with $14, you can turn that to $140. You can make the maximum amount, which is $1,000. In order to make that, you have to put up $100 to make that $1,000. I got a promo code. My promo code is SPACE, SPACE. Into that N and Prize Picks to give you a deal. The deal is they got a 100% deposit match going on right now. So whatever you deposit from $20 to $100, they're going to match it 100%. If you deposit $20, they're going to give you $20. So it's like you got $40 in your account. So it's free money they're giving you just by using my promo code SPACE, SPACE. So the 2 picks I like for today is, well, for Sunday, I'm going to take the over on Russell Gage. He's going to have an increased role with Julio Jones out. So I like him over 10.5. I'm going to take the over on Kyler Murray, man. Dual threat, quarterback. I think he can easily get over 22. I think he can get like close to 28, 30. So I'm going to take the over on Kyler Murray. And over on Russell Gage. Those are my 2 picks on Prize Picks. And make sure you enter my promo code SPACE, SPACE, to get those deals I mentioned earlier. I'm not gonna play a lot. You shouldn't either. We gotta get a feel of what's gonna happen. Like pretty much the first 2 weeks, and then go crazy. But I'm very excited for NFL. Can't wait to start it tomorrow. Shout out to the family. Join the DFS club, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.